Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages and non-binary, I am the host with the most. I am the guy with the big Power Ranger behind him. I am the guy with all the toys. I am that guy. I am. This is the BearatNight podcast, and I am Dom, aka Jurassic Parker. Okay, and this episode is very special. We back once again. To say that, I have to say that. I don't know if I said that the first time, but we back. But I have to introduce you guys to somebody very special to me. You know, he's my wise man. Roman Reigns has his wise man, or had a wise man, but that didn't work out. I don't know what happened there.
We know how that went. We know how that went.
But this is my wise man. He goes by many names. He has many journeys in life. He has many adventures of his own. I actually mentioned to him today that he has many side quests because that's what he does. He had a whole album. I didn't even know that he did one out of nowhere. Just AKA, you know, I mean, really, what's going on? He goes by a rapper named Jack Nickelz. You know, if you want photography, he's Honja Photography. I know him as Daniel Warren. You know, Mr. Warren, if you're nasty. But also, like I said, the wise man, you know, because he is that for me. Yeah, if you want to say hi to everybody, my wise man.
That's a lot of pressure to put on me with that introduction. That's a lot of pressure. I don't know if I can live up to it.
You've been around for so long, you know. You lived. You garnered the name, brother. You garnered the name. I know I had to put you on here for this episode. Because of the topic, you know, at hand.
Yeah.
And your skill set, you know what I'm saying? I had to put you had to be on this. I had to talk to you because you're the first person I thought of when I said, okay, this is going on. I want to talk about this. Before I even say Warren. Yeah, wise man, gotta be on there. You know, I really was no other person I could have. But it was like there's nobody else I want to put on for this topic.
That makes me feel good. That makes me feel good.
So it's like because you can talk on so many levels with this. But the start of this is pretty much we talking about hip hop and ageism. Yeah. You know, the scrutiny that ageism play in hip hop culture, which is crazy because hip hop is not that old. As in itself, in the art form of itself, in music. So when you're putting a number to people, it's funny it's funny to others, you know, to some people, especially when it comes to Black culture, hip hop culture. You know, we praise like the rock stars and everything else that. Like the Rolling Stones and all of them, Guns N' Roses and all these other, celebrities that for still going on in music. You know, matter of fact, even R&B, we had the Temptations are still playing. They are still killing it. They still making money.
Indeed.
You know, no matter what, they still making money. I saw what's his name? Smokey Robinson is still out there performing. Gyrating everything. So it's like we don't mind that because those are the good old the oldies and all that. We still want to see those performers. But when we get to our hip hoppers, you know, we get to I don't want to see no damn Kumo D. That's old. There's Rakim. I don't want to. And then you go a little further than that. You go LL Cool J. I don't want to. That's he raps. You know, a lot of people don't even remember. A lot of people don't even know that LL Cool J raps. That he was a rapper. He still is a rapper. You know, it still has. Get really good. You know, he had a latest album. Awesome. You know, I can't say the same thing about Will Smith though. I tried, Will. I tried. Matter of fact, I tried the power of will, like Jaden said, to listen to that album the whole way through, and I got to wait.
Nope.
That album lasted that one time on my phone, so I had to let it go. It just, if you got nothing nice to say, don't say it all. That's all I can say. But
Good, good.
but
I like that.
You know what? Hey, he did it though. He did it.
True. True.
No matter what, he did it. He did that. But this episode has come across, especially because this is a dedication to hip hop, but also dedication because the Clipse new album, Pusha T and Malice, one of my favorite hip hop groups of all time, especially for me.
Album.
Yeah, especially for me, being a kid from Virginia, growing up, like being from Virginia, moved to Connecticut, and then like it's a little piece of home every time when I was a kid, especially in high school, listening to the Clipse, the whole Neptunes, Timberland, the Missy Elliott's, the whole that Virginia clique,
the whole Virginia squad.
Oh my God, yes! Like I had them when MySpace was a thing. I had the whole Virginia crew, all of them on my wall page because I was so proud. Look at the Clipse and the Missy and the Timberland and Magoo and all that. Like, yes, Magoo, if y'all don't remember, recipes, but Timberland and Magoo was a team, But listening to matter of fact, funny fact, because I love the Neptunes and everything. On my high school graduation picture, the yearbook, I actually literally put "No one ever really dies." NERD.
Nerds.
Yeah, I was huge in NERD nerds. And like I said, Clipse, all that, and then you put them with NSYNC with the Justin Timberlake album when it first came out. Oh, it was heaven for me when I was a kid.
You made money. That was a money maker.
Yes, easy. So listening to this album now as an adult, as I'm entering another stage in my life, age-wise and everything too, listening to the Clipse and hearing so much maturity and their life struggles and like just everything that's in there reminding me so much. And I'm like, dang, we don't get this a lot right now in music and hip hop. And I'd be looking like I was looking for some of this stuff to happen with Drake. Right? Even Drake. Like, okay, when is he ever gonna actually grow up into some more music that I want to hear him, like what struggles? Don't you guys something about being a father or something? Like baby mama drama or something? Oh yeah, we don't talk about that. But don't you guys some type of struggles or something? I don't know. That I can relate to something. It's still the same old, still, I mean, no shade to Drake, but I always want to hear some maturity, something I can relate to. I think we all can relate to. And like the first three songs on the Clipse album just did it for me.
Solid. Yeah.
Gosh. Just
you know what it is? It's, and I've had this talk. Nowadays, hip hop is more moment. Everything is produced to either make a reel, a TikTok, or to go viral. There's not the emphasis on like building like a classic.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you take a look back, even though Will Smith is not really doing it, Summertime, Parents Just Don't Understand, Nightmare on My Street, I Think I Can Beat Mike Tyson. Those are classics that you can play and people would know. Tribe Called Quest. You can play Tribe Called Quest music now and people will get it. Same thing with Ice Cube, but DMX.
Yeah.
Back when we came up in the golden age era of hip hop, and even back in like the early days of hip hop, companies had artist development. So they developed their artists to long last and have longevity.
Right.
That's why if you look at say R&B legacy acts like a New Edition, a Luther Vandross, they may not be putting out albums.
Right.
They make money off their tours.
Oh yeah.
Like they tour and they tour crazy because they have a catalog of hits that people connect to and resonate with. Because at that time it was about making long-lasting projects that because we had physical media. And I think that's one of the things we had physical media. So if you bought somebody's CD, you want to be able to listen to it a bunch of times and not just listen to it once and then put it back in your CD rack and then don't touch it again. You put it in your CD player, you had your CD Walkman, you threw that shit in the car. If you had a car changer, you had a few good CDs in there. It was you were built to last. Nowadays, the music is not like that. So when the Clipse came out,
Yep.
and I tell people the Clipse didn't do anything new. It's still that fancy drug dealing, coke
Yep.
rap, very impactful, emotional projects. But like you said, we haven't heard it in a while. So when it's like being fed like the I get being fed the best version of Power Rangers for like 3 seasons, right?
Right.
You get to 3 seasons, everything, action's good, dialogue's good. It's like, oh man, I love that. I can't wait to see the next episode. And then you get like 4 seasons of filler.
Mm-hmm.
No purpose whatsoever. It's just filler episodes.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. You know, we're gonna go to the little shop that they hang out at, and we're trying to figure out what happened to all the supplies. It's shit that doesn't make has nothing to do with the overall story.
Mm-hmm.
But then they go back to the old shit that they used to do that you love. Then it's like, oh man, this is like it makes it even better than what
Yeah.
it really is because you haven't had it in enough time. You've been deprived. We've been deprived as hip hop fans. We've been
Yeah.
deprived. That's why Kendrick won that battle. We were deprived of a legit lyricist
Yeah.
getting into a battle outside of the battle rap realm.
That's true. That's true. You make because it didn't once he's on the album too. Like he's on the second song too.
Oh yeah,
And he blends in so
shame.
well. You know what? It's funny when you when you get an album and you hear features and you get a feature, cool. But when a person blends in so well with the rest of everybody else, like a group, like you would think it's a whole group or something like that's killing this song. No, it's a person, it's a group and a feature. But he blended so well. Even Tyler Creator, same thing.
I was about to say Tyler Creator did
Oh
an
my God.
amazing job on POV. It was.
I was not. Don't get me wrong. I like Tyler. I like him as a person, and I respect him and everything he's done over the years. But I got some of the albums. I listened to him, but I was never like. I can't never say I'm a big, huge Tyler fan. Like, but when I heard his bars, I was like, "That's Tyler. He did that. He said that. Oh." He stepped up. He knew what he was doing. He knew because he's a fan as well. So
Yes.
he knows all the words to every song to the Clipse. He's known. He said he's a huge Clipse fan. So for him to be on this album, it's like I felt good for him because it's like damn, he got to be with his heroes, but he stepped up 100%. You know, he's like, oh, I'm gonna be on this album. I gotta come out and make it known that I was approved to be on here. Like I was worthy of this. And he said that word. He said, you know, God to play me in my biopic. I was like, okay. I think I'm even more of a fan of you now. You know,
My favorite line from that song was when he said, "The Clipse got 'em moving, dirty white like mosh pits." I lost. I'm like, but you know what? Tyler has always been a dope lyricist, but the genre that he's in, he doesn't
Yeah.
he showcase it, but he doesn't really get to showcase it as much. Like he had a project with DJ Drama where he shows off more of that style that he used with the Clipse
Right.
on that project. So it's like same thing with Nas, who's always a dope lyricist. But I love hearing Nas with the Clipse because it's like the Clipse gave me what albums haven't given me. You got Nas, who's a generational artist of his era, right? So you got him with the Clipse. Then the Clipse went to grab the guy from this era, which would be Tyler the Creator.
Right.
You know, with Igor, Chromatic, all that stuff. And then they said, okay, now just to bridge those two eras, we're gonna grab Kendrick and we're gonna put Kendrick on a track, and now we've grabbed artists who are influential for each of their eras.
Yeah.
And put them in our music, not only show that there's a reason why they're generational talents, but we can still hang with the generational talents from each generation and not seem like we're going to get outshone on a track.
Exactly. And everybody's still on the same level on these tracks. Talk about them in just the whole thing. Like, you know, we've been so used to, I think a lot of times we've been so used to what they put and giving us right now. with this with music, especially when it comes to hip hop. You had your mumble rap and all this other stuff. And then someone said the other day, like we've been getting a lot of the what the drug takers, the people that's taking the drugs, rap and stuff. They that's what's influencing everybody. But now we hear it from we got the drug dealers actually coming back like no, we sell it. We don't take it. We sell it. And that's the viewpoint that you're getting from them. Like in that area, it's like no, they're the ones those are the users, and we're the sellers. We provide the stuff for them, and that's I feel like that's in a way like that's what we're getting. That's exactly what it is. Like we've been hearing so much of the same stuff, and in actuality there are a lot of users, and especially the past few years, so many people, some of these rappers died so much, and suicidal music and all this stuff. And it's so weird. It's funny how you kind of said it before, but it's refreshing to get back to something old, but also now new again in a way.
Well, we circle back to the original topic about ageism. There's a difference between youthful rap and grown man rap.
Mm-hmm.
It's every artist at a certain point of their career, if they want to have longevity, they have to talk about grown man topics and grown man shit. Nas did it with the joint for his daughter, and Jay-Z has done it. Like every rapper who wants longevity, if you look at all the longevity acts in hip hop, they've gone through that where they've hit that corner and they go, okay, we have to be grown men. We can't rap about parties all the time because not all of us are parties. And to be honest, the majority of hip hop, if you want to be honest, the majority of hip hop fans are older fans. It's not really the young guys who are pushing hip hop. It's really the older heads that are pushing hip hop. I do a Twitch stream with my boys who are on the studio under me, where we do music reviews. And when we get submissions in, I tell a lot of these cats, like, it's not my speed because what you talk about 9 times out of 10 makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
Like, you're spending money on getting high and getting messed up. And, I can't relate to that because I'm a grown man and I know how important my money is.
Yeah.
So when I have another grown man talking about I'm taking my money and I'm using it to culture myself and going trips abroad and, upgrading my wardrobe and, expensive meals and things of status. Things of status instead of things of youthful exuberance.
Right.
It's a different level of respect. And ageism, we go, well, it's a young game. It's not really a young game. It's a gullible game. I could put a young person's face out there to get the younger audience to relate to, give them a catchy beat, and give them do drugs, get high, do a dance. Sounds simple like that. Make it 15 seconds. Get somebody to dance to it on TikTok or do a reel to it, and now I have my audience, and that artist is gonna last no more than a year, year or two, maybe. Like think about our SoundCloud rappers that came out, Little Pump, Little Uzi Vert. Just think of all these.
I think he's the last one that's really still going. Is Uzi?
He's barely holding on. And it's like
some of them already, and the other ones have pretty much died. They all, unfortunately. When you say that, like, I'm thinking about Jay-Z. You're not going to hear Jay-Z like making another big pimping song at his age.
Jay-Z's not doing anything about selling dope on the block anymore.
Yeah. So he's not really going. You're not going to hear that. Like I think even when he put the 444 album out, people didn't like it, because it was a mature album. It's him at this stage of his life. Every album was a certain stage of his life. In that 444, I feel like I liked the album, but I think I might. I think it came out like almost 10 years ago now, something like that.
Yeah.
I think me now versus me at that when I first heard it, I think I will like probably if I listen to it now, would enjoy it way more now than I did even 10 years ago when it came out, just because where I'm at mentally, age wise, mentally and life wise, and just like I've been through more stuff. So since then, so it made me, I will probably appreciate that album even more so than I did the first time.
You know what's crazy about you saying that? I want you to think about this, right? So a lot of hip hop nowadays don't talk about future endeavors. It's all about the
Right.
here and now, right?
Exactly.
But our acts from our age are coming out and they're talking about mature subjects of being grown and having kids and a daughter and doing investment. It's almost as if the industry is pushing a narrative that we don't have a future.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we should splurge on everything now versus the narrative of we want longevity and I'm only doing this because I want to move. Listen, I remember when the big thing was moving mom out the hood. That was like the
Mm-hmm.
underlying thing for every hip hop artist. They had that one song that was talking about moving mom out the hood, or I want my son to
Yeah.
be better than me, or it's just like, but we don't have that anymore because no one's thinking about the future now.
What
It's
was that? What was the oldest statistic about black men not living past like 23 or 25 or something like that?
21.
21. So when you think about
21.
it, that old statistic is kind of instilled in hip hop, where it's like we got to make stuff here and now. Let me enjoy stuff right now, get high and everything. Let me buy all the jewelry stuff right now because tomorrow I might be dead.
Yeah.
So it's not about, like you said, it's not about, nobody's talking about the future. No one, because I think no one's thinking about, oh, I could still be rapping at 50. But they're thinking I might not be here to even celebrate 50.
Well, see, that's
So
why you got a lot of these rappers who now, when they do make it to a certain age,
yeah,
they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know what to do with their career.
they
They've
thought they were
gone
gonna be dead. They
bankrupt.
probably thought they were gonna be dead by that
Yeah.
time. They spent all their money and stuff because they was thinking about here and now, not
Yep.
in the future. So they thought I might get shot later, and who knows? Because I think if you really think about, like, a lot of rappers back in the day, you had, like, you had Biggie get popped, and Tupac, and here whoever, and especially when you have other, like, what's his name? I forgot. God, I can't even think his name. But he was young cat too, and he didn't make it out. He was making money. He was doing good. Yet he went back to his hood because he wanted to still be relevant and be popular, and they killed him in his own hood. But then again, that's a story about just about everybody
Yeah.
that makes it and still want to stay in their hood, and then they get popped, and they're still young. They were still young. So now anybody else that try to rap later on, they just only assuming, let me making money until I get popped or whatever. And it keeps going on. The cycle keeps continuing, and is messed up. But it's like no one's thinking, let me go past this. Like I could do more. I could, let me rap, because I know if I rap, I could get my mom out the hood. I can get myself out the hood. I ain't got to come back. I can visit, wave, but I ain't got to live in it. I don't got to hang out no more.
You know what
What
it
is it?
is? No one wants to be Uncle Ira. No one wants
Yeah.
to be Uncle Ira. And I always tell people hip hop. If you look at hip hop is related to a lot of like anime stuff. Like go
Yeah.
side. If you look at anime, it's always like the best long lasting animes have built a following and they've developed characters for you to connect to. So
Yeah.
when people talk about their like big three, you hear like the Naruto's, you hear the Goku's, or like the Ichiko's from Bleach, because they've built this follow. It's very rare you get a case like a Cowboy Bebop where you have a one season, boom,
Yeah.
or like an artist who has one album and boom.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build your connection with your audience, and that comes with maturity. You
Yeah.
grow with your audience. Your audience is getting older as the years go by, so you as an artist should be getting older. Dan at 16 isn't vibing with the same stuff I'm vibing with now in my 40s. It's two different things, and I can't listen to, like, it's like going to a club. Like I tried to go to
Yeah.
the club the other day, and I'm like, oh, this is not me. I need to
Yeah.
be at home in my bed or on the couch watching TV. I am not built for this. And that's what our artists need to recognize that and know that It's okay to be like that.
If you see a man over 40 at the club, 9 times out of 10, he took a nap.
Take a nap. He took a nap, or he knows someone at the club. That's like the owner. That's like one
Yeah.
of the bartenders, making sure everybody's doing stuff, or the security.
Matter of fact, yeah. Matter of fact, speaking of somebody that works in the club, and I, shoot, my clock in my head is like, as soon as it hit about 1 o'clock, I'm like, I'm ready to go to sleep now. I'm ready. Y'all want to go home? Y'all want to go
Wrap it up.
home? You know,
Wrap this
like
shit up. We are
if
leaving.
yo, I swear to God, I was just at work the other day, and I was just saying like it hit about 3 o'clock, and I'm like, I gotta be at work in a couple more hours. Y'all want to go home? Yeah, this is done for me. And then somebody asks me, you want to go out to a club outside of me working? I'm like, no, God, no. Why? Jeez.
See,
No.
that's a maturity. That is a maturity that a lot of acts don't have. They don't understand that you don't always have to be rah rah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And ageism comes in because the industry they know. They know the buying power is with the kids. They know that. We're not
Yeah.
stupid. They know that. So they cater to the kids. They can get money.
Yeah.
But they don't realize you can make more money catering to the people the kids get the money from, the adults.
True. Now,
You say,
somebody with your skill set, because you adult lyricist. I got it. I'm not going.
I'm on Spotify and iTunes. Go look at it. Jake the
Yes.
Snake by Jack Nickelz.
Yes, and please go listen. Someone with your skill set. Have you like and we talk about ages? Through like your involvement. Your no, what am I trying to say? Your evolution over time with your skill set. Now, do you think you're even better now than you were before? Now that you're older and you've been through more stuff, like, is it a little bit easier to come up with stuff now? And just like, oh, I could do this easy. I could wrap this up in my head. And like,
There's a freedom that comes with being an older artist.
mm-hmm.
When you're a younger artist, you're pretty much chained to whatever the fads are,
Yeah.
whatever's the in thing, the cool thing. And so you always try to work that into what you're doing. When you become an older artist, you don't have those stipulations on you. So you can pretty much talk about whatever you want to talk about. A good friend of mine, Archidelic, aka Tone Benjamins, who I've done music with a lot, he did a project all about mental illness.
Wow.
Something we wouldn't have done a couple of years ago.
Right.
I've done tracks about, getting over drug abuse, the death of my grandmother, the death of my best friend, my friend having a stroke,
Mm-hmm.
depression. It's like once you get older, this library of stuff is now open to you. It's like not having good eyesight and then going to get LASIK surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, everything's so clear. Like I could write about not being able to stay up because I'm tired from like working and all that stuff. And to the young kids, it sounds stupid, like a stupid thing. But to the older crowd, there's a ton of people who can relate to being stressed out and tired, not able to stay up and not being able to do certain things because you're just too worn out.
I mean,
because
soon as you said it,
strong.
soon as you mentioned it, I already related. As soon as you said it, I was like, oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah, that's the freedom of being an older artist. You have all that stuff. Like we could talk about paying bills,
Yeah.
what a shut off notice is. You can talk about the dating game. There's so much stuff you can talk about now as an older artist, and I have like a lot more freedom to like put stuff in a verse and not have to worry about I need to make this catchy so I can get like some hits on my YouTube channel or something like that. No, I make what I like to make. And if you don't like it, that's okay. Cause I'm old enough now to realize that me making music and me enjoying the music I make is not connected or contingent on if I have a large following. I respect my fan base. I love the people who listen to my music. but I'm mature enough and I have the freedom enough to know that if you did not like my music,
Mm-hmm.
that does not change what I can do or the ability that I have.
Right. Right. Sure. I mean, and that's, you put it right there. When you So when you see these artists now and you see how the music is going, like I just saw something about what's her name? I guess the girl who did the Icy song, whatever. But she did her song, I think over one of her songs she did over Kaya's My Neck, My Back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she did another song using Petey Pablo, you know, a Petey Pablo track. Now it's kind of messed up because I'm like, dang, once when you hear the song and you or say you at a club or whatever, you go to a concert and they hear that song playing, are they really checking? Oh, is Petey Pablo coming out, or is it the other person coming out they want to listen to? You know, do they get whether if say they thinking, oh, the Icy girl gonna come out with that song and she gonna come out to the crowd, and they gonna go bananas. Okay, cool. But if Petey Pablo showed up, the one that's on the original song, and he comes out, is he gonna get that same love from the crowd? You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, the crowd is probably younger, so would they even know the original song to even get hype? You know
That
about
is, it's such an interesting thing that you said that because there's another case of something like that happening.
yes,
Scissor, Kendrick Lamar, 30 for 30.
right.
That's the rich boy, throw some D's on it.
Is that yeah.
And they even have the girl in the beginning of that song and that song. I don't mind when artists do that because one, it's acknowledging how influential and how long lasting certain songs are. Right?
Yeah,
Off the bat. Two, um, I'm assuming you've watched Stranger Things.
right. Yes, yep.
So, Running Up That Hill by Kate Bush.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
No one knew who Kate Bush was.
Never knew who the hell
No.
that was.
You watched the show and now you've gone back and you found out about Kate Bush and now you're looking back in her catalog. And I feel like sometimes that happens. Like you'll go back and you may not know who Petey Pablo is,
Right.
but you'll go back and you'll listen, and it gives artists a chance to have renewed kind of thirst for them. Like
Mm.
Shabuzi? Was it
Shabuzi,
Shabuzi?
yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
When
Get
he
tipsy.
did Tipsy,
Yeah.
that gave was it Quan the
Jaquan.
Jaquan gave Jaquan like another lease on life
Yeah.
because it now that song became popular. Let's hear the original that it came off of. So when it's done right, it could be beautiful.
And I love the
Now,
fact that he put Jaquan out there with him in a performance. I think like BET Awards or something like that. Or
yeah, they performed together.
oh, background went back. You went back. Oh no, it's
So this,
nothing.
I'm talking about some confidential stuff. Everything's going crazy now. Just let you know how old age is that happening, and you're like, all right, fuck
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happened again. That's what. It's still gonna be a dope interview. So it
Yeah,
is what
yeah.
it is.
So
For
yeah,
real here.
so the Shabuzi, like he's just Jaquan get tipsy. It is like, and I think that's the thing right now with artists. Right now they're playing. I mean, they did it before. They did it before. I guess it's just our turn now because hip hoppers, rappers use samples from the '70s.
We've done it for
Uh,
years and years and
so
years. Yeah, it's just our turn.
yeah, because what is it? I didn't know, like, when I listened to Biggie, I didn't know I was listening to the Isley Brothers. Like I didn't know. So I guess now, I'm in that group now. I'm a millennial, whatever. I guess I'm in the age group now where my stuff that I grew up with is now
Yep.
getting touched. No one's safe. Nobody is safe. The
Listen,
sample machine is always going to be sampling
the
from
reboot
somewhere.
rewrite has been going on through industry forever. Like we've got two versions of Total Recall. We got a bunch of versions of Predator. It's just what happens is I feel like, especially with music, there's only so much people can do,
Yeah.
and it's like there's part of there being no artist development with no artist with no artist development, there's no one telling artists they need to stay creative.
Yeah.
So then they
Yeah.
rely on going back to the older stuff because they're not creative enough to create their own classics. Here's the scary thing.
Hmm.
Here's the scary thing. Now I was thinking about this the other day when I was on the show. So nowadays artists are using older artists' music to
Hmm.
create their hits.
Right.
Eventually, the next wave of artists are going to use that artist's music to create their hits, which borrow from that artist's music,
Yep.
which borrow from
Yep.
that artist's music. So at eventually, all we're going to get are a millions of variations of the same song,
Yeah.
just with different artists on it.
And I'm pretty sure, like, say, take a point like a Tipsy or um what is it, Shake It Fast, whatever. Somebody, because somebody use Shake It Fast as a sample too, but Shake It Fast is also used a sample in that to make that beat too. So it's like, so not only are you paying that artist from before because it's their
Yep.
song, but also now you're paying the person who originated the song. So your money now, because especially now if you're a younger artist, they're gonna always screw you on your deal. So not only are you paying the old artist you sample from, but you're paying the other artists that they sample from and whatever to make the thing. So when your money comes in, because you also got to pay your management and the
Gotta pay,
record
yeah, you gotta
company.
pay stuff back. You gotta.
Yeah, so it's gonna leave you with lesser money than if you had made an original beat for the song. And it don't even start if you took someone's rap lyric to make your song, like, or you just, whatever's part of another song that you took, like, you made it a hot line, I made it a hot song. If you use just that, somebody's gonna come to you and be like, hey, you owe us some money because that part
Well,
was somewhere else.
you know why artists are doing that? Okay,
Yeah.
as wrestling fans, we
Yeah.
know all about this. All right, there was what was it? It was, I think it was one of the WrestleManias. You had Cass and Enzo, Sheamus and Cesaro, and I forgot another tag team in the ring. It was going to be a
Mm-hmm.
four. It was a three-way tag team match for the titles. New Day comes out, right? New Day's talking about we have one more team to add to this. Everybody
Oh
thinking it's
yeah.
the New Day. Then all of a sudden you hear that doom 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 doom
Yeah.
doom doom doom,
The Hardy Boys.
and then the Hardy Boys come out and everybody just pops.
Yeah.
It's because nowadays artists are relying on that nostalgia pop.
Yeah.
I may not be a good lyricist, but if I use the beat or sample from one of your favorite songs,
Yeah.
that is all I need to get you to listen to it.
Yeah.
Because now
Yeah.
you're hooked.
They're doing it right. Yeah. You know what? It's true because even when I was at work and they was playing I thought it was the Fantasia song, When I See You. And I was like, oh shit, I haven't heard this in a minute. Hey, this is my shit. Okay. Wait, hold on. This ain't it. Wait, what is going on with my song? And it's a whole different person singing the song, and it's not even the same lyrics. I'm like, this is harsh.
Yeah.
The original one was about love, and this is about F you. I'm like, no, I don't like this. And then after a while, what happens? I'm hearing it every day because I'm at the same club, I'm working.
It
And
becomes
to the point
catchy.
now, I'm starting to sing the damn song, and even though I don't like it, but it's catchy because it's now it's an earworm. And you know what? That's what they want because
Yeah.
now you got to listen to it. You want to listen to it now because you're humming it and everything. It's a vicious cycle. This is a vicious cycle.
It is.
Um, do you think there's going to be a time where because people are so fascinated right now with how Pusha T and Malice, not just the album, like the rap, how good the album is. They're so infatuated over the fact that how old they are,
Well,
and which is crazy. It is like, okay, but do you think there's going to be a time where we can not think about the age and just get the music? Like you hear the music and like, how old is these dudes? How old is the person?
here's the fun thing about Pusher and Mattis when the Clipse did the rollout for this album. It was probably one of the best rollouts they did. They did grown man shit.
Yeah.
They didn't just put the album together and release and stuff. They did tours.
Yeah.
They did speaking tours. They were on radio shows. They did interviews. They were in magazines. They did stuff that you see older actors do.
Yeah.
Going on this show or that show, talking about the album, talking about certain lyrics or certain talking about the theme.
Yeah.
Age played a strong part in why the album is so good
Mm-hmm.
as anything else. And I think if you separate age from the music, you lose the music. The music is timeless because the artists are timeless, and you become timeless and a classic with age.
Mm-hmm.
Can't separate the two. And I think that's the problem. People are trying to separate the two, and you can't. The reason why we relate is because it reminds us of our younger days when we used to listen to like lyricists who just had like killer bars. It was just they just bar game everything up. And you just like,
Yeah.
damn, Mattis is crazy. Pusher is nuts. Pharrell had crazy production back then. Ab Lover. You had all these components that came in, and as an older artist and as older fans, you go, I relate to this music because it relates to me at my age. Like
Right.
at my age, this music speaks to me. So I don't think we'll ever get to a point, even though they're gonna try to kill it. They're gonna try to kill it because if an artist can survive at an older age past what the labels are pushing out, it hurts the labels because it's going to be a point where they're not going to be able to push the narrative of younger viral TikTok sensations because they're going to have pushback from
Yeah.
older, matured, more developed artists.
You're right. Uh,
I mean,
it's true.
look at you as a cosplayer.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect example. Cosplayers. All right. I know some of the newer cosplayers just because
Right.
I do photography, right? But the ones that always stick out to me, Stella Chu,
Yeah.
Jessica
Yeah.
Nelgree, I know Yaya, all of those
Yeah.
established cosplayers who have made their name from the ground up, and now they are like the elders in the
Yeah.
industry.
Yeah.
They're sitting on like you, like look. I remember when you started. I remember when you started. I remember when you were coming up. You were coming up through the ranks. Before you were getting your stuff shipped in from other countries to make sure it was right. I remember all that shit. And now look at you. You're getting ready to do panels. You have your show where you talk to various artists from the past or from the
Yeah.
upcoming future and the present. That comes from your maturing in your environment and using
Yeah.
that to kind of to solidify your brand.
And I still don't even think I even got to get to where I really wanted to be in cosplay because because limitations of getting to certain places or whatever. But it's funny though because I see cosplayers and stuff, and they're doing stuff that I did that. I did that, but no one was around like that. Like
That's part of maturity, though. That's part of
but
maturity is knowing you're not where you want to be, and part of maturity knows like, damn, I remember doing this when no one gave a fuck about this.
yeah, like what is it? I just did I'm seeing like my boy Dimitri, like he did Cyclops, and other people are like, oh damn, a black Cyclops, and I'm like, I did Cyclops, but everybody keep calling me fucking Bishop the whole damn time. Like do you not see the visor, people? Like I just saw cosplayers talk about she dressed up as what's her name from the X-Men, the diamond chick,
Emma Frost.
Emma Frost. Yes, she was Emma Frost, but everybody kept looking at her and calling her Storm. And she literally, I clearly see she's dressed as Emma Frost, but to because since she's black, they go, and she got white on. Oh, you're Storm, and she's like, no, I'm Emma Frost. And it's like, I get that, and I literally put it like, yeah, try being Cyclops, and everybody keep calling you Bishop. Shoot, like someone even called me LeVar Burton. Like no, this is not Star Trek. He doesn't even wear this in Reading Rainbow. Like it was a mess. But am I going to try to be like, oh, let me try to rehash these outfits just so people know I did it too? No, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I did it, but other people are doing things now. I love the elevation of everything, but I'm just gonna go whatever comes to me and see what happens next.
But that's age and maturity. That's age and maturity. The
Yeah,
same thing that made the Clipse popular is the same thing that you're using to establish your brand. The Clipse know they're not going to be sitting out here talking about lean, and they're not going to be doing all that crazy shit. They know this is what we're going to do. When we were doing it before, people caught it, but not many people caught it because hip hop wasn't as explosive as it is now.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we're not going to go back and be
True.
like, y'all should have listened to the last albums. No, we're gonna present what we got, and we're mature enough to know that even now, if we present to you what we bring to the table, you're gonna love it.
Yeah, and shout out to all the black cosplayers out there. You keep doing your thing, please keep doing it. Now, Jesus, would you say you've been seeing me since day one with this stuff? It's just like, dang, it's been
Yeah,
so many years. Now I really feel old. Now when it comes to this whole thing, do you think this would, if there's nobody trying to mess with it, do you think this would garner some type of evolution, some type of thing to get people like, hey, let's make a little bit more mature music now?
I
Like
think
let's be ourselves a little bit more. Let's dive deep a little bit more.
I think there's always been a group of artists that do music like that. Like I
Mm-hmm.
listen to like someone like a Jid, or J. Cole, Kendrick, NF. There's a bunch of
Well,
artists who
well,
do
no, you know
more.
what? Not even that, because it is out there. They are out there.
But what I
But do
think
you
what
think they will
happened
get more
is
shine? Those artists will get more
this will
shine.
give them more shine. This will give them more shine because it shows. What was my favorite line from Jay Z is when he talked about how he could do joints like Common Sense
Right.
when he saw his first check and he ain't make Common
Oh,
Sense sense.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like the same thing. So unfortunately, in the industry, you need someone to. It's just like with photography. No one knows what a dope model looks like until they see a dope model,
Yep,
right?
yep.
So like before, it was heroin chic, was like very skinny models that had that heroin
Mm,
look.
yeah,
Then you got a little curvier like Tyra Banks and such like that. Then you had like your Ashley Grahams, which were more full figured. So a
yeah,
lot of it is it takes someone to punch people in the face. Kendrick was the first star of that. Kendrick proved not only can you beat a more Grammy recognized artist or a more radio friendly artist like a Drake by
yep.
just being a conscious lyrical artist, but you can sell out stadium tours. You can make an event and a movement and not have it be, more fad and TikTokish.
Mm-hmm.
Malice and Pusher are reaffirming that fact.
Right,
Like you
right.
could be grown and put out a solid project. So now
That's
all these
true.
other artists are now going to be more prone to do stuff like that because they have two great examples now. Look at it. Nas
Oh
won a
yeah, true.
Grammy. Nas won a fucking Grammy.
Yeah,
So like all these things are like steps to go, hey, we may be getting back to the conscious era of rap where people had lyrics that made sense and related. Like back when we had like the Tribe Called Quest, the Jungle
right.
Brothers, Afro, we had like was X Clan, you had like artists there was a time in hip hop where you had artists who kind of spoke to a more mature thing, and then that faded away. And I feel like with all these things, Kendrick and Pusha and Nas, all this stuff happening, and
Mm-hmm.
the Clipse doing everything, we are slowly maybe turning
Getting back to that,
ourselves back to that to give it another go around.
which is always needed and always good, because I feel like
Yes.
you should have that balance in hip hop, because I mean there was a time where you had a Common Sense, you had a Tribe Called Quest, but then
Yep.
you also had like a Mystical, you had a No Limit, you had a Cash Money, but you
You
also
had your
had to make
balance.
sure you had a Nas, you had an AZ, you had these different lanes you could go and check however you want. But now I feel like everything now is just all pretty much sound the same.
Yeah.
They all follow the same lane now. Like, oh, well, this makes money. It's kind of like when everybody was jumping on the T-Pain auto-tune lane, and everything's if you didn't have T-Pain on your song, you just gonna do auto-tune on yourself, and you singing the hooks and stuff, and that's what everything started to be for a good minute. And that was clearly like a good 08 to 2010 or something like a long run of that. You know, by the end, people just stopped using T-Pain. They were just like, I sing my own hooks, you know, and use as long as I got auto-tune, I just do my own hooks, you know, and that's what happened. So, you know, I feel like hopefully in a way, like this garner more of everybody getting the same, like getting to have lanes again. You can still have hip hop, but now you have other options. You could do more, you know, you could do more with the time. Cause I mean, shoot, you got guys like Kid Cudi, you got Donald Glover, you have like a Common that still does stuff. You have, you know, a Nas that's still putting out albums. You have a Will Smith if you want to listen to that. You know, you got the Clipse. You know, you get more. You have more stuff. You want to listen to the drug rap. You know, the user rap. You can. You know,
there's more variety now. There's just slowly starting to get more variety.
Just have more variety. Never mind the age. Never mind the age. You could be any age. It doesn't matter what age you are, but just what are you putting out? What are you trying to say? You know, and hopefully whatever you're saying is positive enough for the listener. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, want them to feel. You want somebody to feel what you're playing, what you're putting out. You don't want them to go off and do something stupid. You know, but because music really is a mental thing. When you listen, it really does play a part in your mental stability. When you do anything, you know, if you go to the gym, you know, you got to listen to something a little bit harder and like more, you know, with a harder bass or something to get you going. Versus if you're gonna get a good gym run when you're in there. Versus if you listen to something slower, you're not gonna really want to do anything. You just slow down. You might want to just take a nap on the floor. Just, you know, let me just stretch it and just gonna go to sleep a little bit. Versus if you listen to something a little harder, and you're like, hold up, and I'm amped. I am amped. You know, like back to wrestling. That's why people love that Jey Uso song so much. You know, it gets you amped.
High energy.
It's high energy. It gets you pumped. You can be tired as hell, but as soon as you hear the down 6, day 1-ish, like it's just me, Oos. Like you get it, you hear it, and people can relate to the words. It's just me. So a lot of times it is just a person. I gotta pay these bills. I gotta do this, and so you hear it's just me, Oos, and you get, you know what? Yeah, it is. Yeah, and now you're pumped.
If you rope this back down to your age thing, how long have the Usos themselves been using that theme? They've been using that day 1-ish
for years.
That whole thing. All they did was update it.
That's it.
They didn't even really update it. They did this. They kept it the way it is, and then you just add the yeet movement to it, and now and then you got Jay doing the talking instead of it just being the straight song. But that come from they built that connection with Jay.
Yeah,
you artist development Jay Uso all the way from the tag team ranks, all the way to his thing with the tribal chief, all the way to when he joined the bloodline, all the way to when he left the bloodline, all the way to his stuff with Solo, all the way to his stuff with Gunter. You know, you built that connection. You artist developed him, and now as a mature audience, you relate to Jay. As a mature artist, you relate to Jay, someone who hasn't been looked at as the main event person, a background player who all they want is their chance to get out there and show that they can hang with the best. That's all they want. And once they get it, they prove that they could do it. You can relate to that.
Yeah. Exactly.
If you're an older person, you can relate to that.
Exactly. Yeah. Easily. So like, you know, it's the same way when it comes to music. You know, it's like if you hear something when you was like a kid and like, okay, this is cool, but as you get older, you just need a little bit more. You need a little bit more to get you going. And sometimes you once you get that song, you get that artist that brings that out of you, you good to go. You're home. You're good to go. Like and I feel like a lot of that time we don't get that. You know, so that's why you always get people going back to the old stuff when you're in your car, like, you know what? I'm not feeling none of the song on the radio right now. Let me
go back to your old playlist.
Yeah, because at the current state right now, there's nothing that's like holding that same area for you. But then again, now you get this something like how you saw Nas is back, and we got Clipse back, and it's filling that void again that's been missing for so long. It's like, oh my God, why? Where you been? Where you been? It's like seeing an old friend all over again. You're playing catch up. So it's a beautiful thing, and I'm looking forward to more artists of a certain age to just embrace it and just keep going and putting it out, because I feel like this is the time now. This is the time for like a KRS-One. Oh my God, like a KRS-One to put out something if he wants to.
While that demand is there.
Exactly. People could be, out there and they just happen to put in a Jack Nickelz, track, and they get inspired and stuff. It's all there. You're like, hold on, I got another lane person now.
Let's get more Jack Nickelz in the industry. Good mature guy.
Exactly.
Good mature guy.
We need some stuff like that. We need more music like that. I need to talk. More music about why I can't go to sleep tonight. More relatable stuff. Like Jesus, because I can't go to sleep tonight. I'm have a hard time. But that's another story. But yeah, I mean, we could go on and on about this stuff because it's music, and it's just it can be music. I feel like music is such a personal subject for everybody, because it touches everybody in certain different ways. And me personally wanted to do this episode with you just to talk about music, because like the Clipse album inspired me. Like I got to talk about this. This is something that we're missing. We're missing music like this. We've been missing it for so long that we didn't even know that we've been missing it. It's like the blip. Like we had. It was here today, gone tomorrow, out of nowhere, and it was like, what happened? So, and then when we get it back, it's like, the hell you been this whole time?
This is what I've been missing.
Yeah, like this is where I've been. This is what I should have been at this whole time. This is the party I've been missing. Now I'm finally here at the party. That's what I feel about right now. And it's like, and it's a beautiful thing also to be able to get old. To be able to get old. I think a lot of people, that's the main thing. People talk about the ageism and stuff with the music, but I think it's such an important thing to know that it's a good thing to get old.
It's okay to be old.
It hurts. It hurts and stuff. But be able to get old is a blessing, and to see what's now, and then also know what was before, and to hopefully you see what's going on the next day in the next 10 years or so, or whatever, 20, 100 years, if we got all that time. So, I think that's the main thing I want to put is like, age is good. Age is good. It's a blessing.
Age is good.
Look forward to getting that next number in your time dial, get into the next one, because it's you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So it's like, if you can live to get to that, is all hey, that's a good thing. Don't let the age,
beautiful.
Yeah, don't let the age, oh, I'm too old for this, I'm too old for that. Well, just do it if you got to do it. Like, don't let that hold you back. Be like, oh, that's enough. You get into that. You got older. That means you got more of a chance to get to what you want to do. Yeah. That's how I look at it. You have more of a chance now. There's another year you got to get to the next level.
Exactly.
Exactly. You're not. It's not like you're on a time clock like that movie Time. Like you're like, oh damn, how much I got? Oh damn, I got 3 days left. No, it's not built like that. So I just want to say thank you, sir, for hopping on this show.
Pleasure.
Like I said, I couldn't think of no one else right off the bat. Like I had to. It had to be Honja. It had to be you to get on this with me. To talk about hip hop and whatnot. So it's just like, you had to be it. Sorry, you was the first one in the call list. You're the first to the call list, brother.
I don't mind. I live for conversations like this.
This is why you're my wise man. This is why you're the wise man in general. You know your shit. You know it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
you know, I ain't got no grades yet. I ain't rushing for it. But you earned yours.
Oh shit.
You earned it. You got your Uncle Iroh going. You know, you're there. You know, you're there. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you know, where can the people find you? So if they want to check you out, you know, in a new record.
So if you go onto iTunes or Spotify, search up Jack Nickelz, Nickelz. You'll find my music. You'll find the newest project. If you're looking for the click shutterbug, look up the Honja Creative on Instagram, X/Twitter. I'm also on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, you may see some old school bear pictures, you know, of somebody in their, you know, Bray Wyatt outfit, or someone in their Black Ranger outfit, you know, or someone in their Green Lantern outfit. You know, there's some things you may see on there that are like archived that probably people forgot about, that, you know, are immortalized. You may see someone looking smooth in their Childish Gambino inspired outfit, just chilling out there in the wild, or maybe you may see someone posing in a local, you know, fashion brand, or someone rocking a dope little Disney sweater, just, you know, looking good on his photo flex. You know, you never know what you may find when you come to my page.
Yeah, you never know.
Just saying.
I had no idea. I had no idea who you was talking about either. Too. That whole other person. I had no idea who that was. Who you talking about? And if you trust me, guys, if you're looking for pictures, that's the man to go to. If you need to get some pictures done, hook him up. Look him up.
I will give you all the bang for your buck. Trust me.
Trust me, and trust me when I say this. You won't regret it. Matter of fact, thank me later. That's what I say. Thank me later. Okay. That's how I say it. But yes, this is Honja Creative, Honja Photography. You know, Jack Nickelz. You know, man of many words, man of many side quests. You know, man of many talents. You know, he does it all. You know, my wise man right here. You know, this is Mr. Warren, Mr. Daniel Warren. You know, it's just. Thank you for being on here. You know, I just got to say it again. And thank all of y'all for listening and watching, however you are digesting this information. I appreciate you so much. Hit the like and subscribe and all that stuff. However you look at this. And I just want to say I'll see y'all guys next Tuesday. Peace.